In a quiet town, there was a mystery that nobody could explain. Every Sunday evening at exactly 7 p.m., a teenage boy named Ethan disappeared, not once, not twice, but every single Sunday for 10 years, and every Monday morning, he returned home as if nothing had happened. Nobody knew where he went, not his parents, not his friends, not even the police. People became obsessed with the mystery. Some followed him. Others installed cameras around his house. But every Sunday, the same strange thing happened. At exactly 7 p.m., the cameras would glitch, witnesses would blink, and Ethan would vanish, as if he had never been there. When Ethan turned 18, his best friend Jake decided he would finally uncover the truth. That Sunday, Jake secretly followed him. Ethan walked through empty streets, past old buildings, and toward an abandoned factory on the edge of town. Nobody had entered the factory for years. Jake's heart pounded as he watched Ethan step inside. A few moments later, Jake followed. The factory was silent, dust covered the floor, broken machines stood frozen in the darkness. Then Jake saw something impossible. At the center of the factory stood a metal door glowing with a strange blue light. Ethan walked toward it. Without hesitation, he opened the door and stepped inside. The door slowly closed behind him. Jake ran forward and pushed it open. What he found on the other side made his blood run cold. The room was covered from floor to ceiling with photographs, hundreds of them. Every photograph showed Ethan, but at different ages. In one picture he looked 25, in another, 40, then 60, then 80 years old. Some photos showed him smiling, others showed him crying, and some showed him standing in places Jake had never seen before. At the very end of the room hung one final photograph. It showed an old Ethan standing beside a handwritten message. Jake stepped closer and read the words, "I wasn't disappearing every Sunday, I was visiting my future." Jake stared at the photograph in shock. Suddenly, every photo in the room began falling from the walls, one after another. The room started shaking, the blue light flickered. Jake turned around. Ethan was gone, the glowing door had vanished. The room was empty. The next morning, the entire town searched for Ethan, but he was never seen again. Years passed. One day, Jake returned to the abandoned factory. The room was still there, but now something had changed. Only one photograph hung on the wall. Jake slowly walked closer. His face turned pale, because the photograph wasn't of Ethan, it was of him, and beneath it were 4 chilling words, "See you next Sunday."